right, so this is my writing mini lesson example. One of the things we're working on in senior composition is voice. So I'm using this mentor text, the Life of Riley article that I gave you on Wednesday, to talk about and model for them the idea of how to inject voice into your writing. And we're using this as a template. So here are some of the elements of voice: that writers have a distinct personality and that their word choice should try to capture that personality. We use strong voice to capture the reader's attention. It gives our writing liveliness and energy, and careful word choice helps strengthen a writer's voice. So those are some of the things that we're working on. So we decided to use this mentor text from the Life of Riley, and I asked you to pick a short text. So instead of obviously going through the whole thing, I'm just going to work on the first part, and I'm going to write that cold. So just to read along with you, the article is called Heaven on Earth. He was a UPS truck of a man, 6'4", maybe 250 pounds, 55 years old, with a chin you could use to crack open coconuts. He waited until the end of my little speech and then stood there in front of the podium, his eyes rimmed red with tears. No words would come to his mouth. He must have stood there for a full minute, trying to use all his muscles to force up a single sentence. My daughter is dying. He wept, then went on. We just found out. Brain tumor. She's got a year to live, if she's lucky. He gave a huge sigh. She lives for sport, you know? Would you write her a note? I don't know, just something to cheer her up? I wrote something. It wasn't that inspiring. I told him how sorry I was. He thanked me and walked off. I felt helpless. Now, after thinking about it, I wish I'd written her this. Okay, so that's the part that I'm going to focus on as I do my cold write. So I'm going to turn our attention to the screen here so you can see me write. And I'm going to ask Chris here, who's doing the video for me, should I write about something from my childhood or should I write about something more recent that reminded me that people I love aren't going to live forever?
Recent.
Something recent. Dang it, I was hoping you would say childhood. All right, something more recent. Okay, let me think for a second. All right, let's see. He was a little old man, Italian to his core, and he always said exactly what he thought. So who I'm thinking of is my friend's father, who passed away a couple of years ago. She's a good friend of mine, Marla, and her dad passed away suddenly, and so that's the first thing I could think of. I didn't know him very well, but I'm going to speak sort of in voice, and I'm going to also model the style of the article that I'm working with. So this is my opening. He was a little old man, Italian to his core, and he always said exactly what he thought. My friend thought she had plenty of time until she got the call. He had been out shoveling snow, and he decided to get on a ladder. Now, I'm certainly worrying about voice here, but I want to get down what's happening, and then I'm going to go back and edit a little bit. Unfortunately, he fell, and they didn't find him in time. She was devastated. As we stood at the wake, Marla seemed to be in shock. Her body was there, but her eyes glazed over even as she thanked us for coming. Sure, he was older, but he had been in great health. Time and circumstances had led to his untimely death, and there was nothing else to say. We said comforting things. We stood respectfully near the casket. We told her to call if she needed anything. Now I realize time is short. We have to take advantage of everything we can say and do when the opportunity arises. Okay, so that's my first draft at it. And so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to really try to look at, I've got sort of my ideas down at first. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and kind of focus on this idea of expressing and reflecting, which is chapter 2 of Gallagher. And I'm also going to go back and see if I can't really make my voice come through a little more strongly, because I've got a lot of weak verbs and I have what happened, but I don't really have much personality in this writing. He was a little old man, Italian to his core, and he always said exactly what he thought. So that sounds a little like the model, but it's not as much, it's not as interesting as he was a UPS truck of a man, 6'4", maybe 250 pounds. So that's really interesting. So I'm going to come back to this sentence here, and I'm just going to work with this one. I'm going to just kind of scroll down here. So I'm going to see how I can make this stronger. So I'll make this a little bit bigger, I think, here. So he was a little old man. He was, let's see, always said exactly what he thought. So I'm going to do what the author did here. I'm going to put, he was a firecracker of an old man, Italian to his core. And he always said exactly what he thought. So this is kind of boring. I'm going to kind of take this out, I think. Italian to his core. I'm going to leave that. Let's see. Fighting his way through. I don't like that either. Let's see. So I like that so far. My friend thought she had plenty of time. I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to come back and probably add something here. He was a firecracker of an old man, Italian to his core. Eyes bright and intense whenever he spoke. Okay, I like that a little bit better. I might come back and work on that a little bit more, but at least it sounds a little bit more, like has a little bit more personality, and it also shows him better, and it follows the model a little bit more closely. My friend thought she had plenty of time. So I'm not sure I like this. So I'm going to say about something about why he was out shoveling snow at over 80 years old and on a ladder. So he would accept help when it was offered, but mostly he felt indestructible and completely autonomous. I don't like that. I'll just leave indestructible for now. But mostly he felt indestructible. Okay, that's why he was out shoveling snow and why he got up on a ladder to fix a lamp. Okay. All right, I like that a little bit better. I think it sounds a little bit stronger. It captures his personality a little bit better, and it sort of gets to what happened to him a little bit more quickly, and it takes the focus away from my friend, which it was really where it shouldn't be right now, and more on him. And then probably what I'm gonna do sort of as I go on here is I'm gonna shift to this idea of her getting a phone call and how they found him. But I like these two sentences a little bit better, okay? Now, mine's a little bit shorter. I wanted you to do, keep it, around this time, about 10 minutes. And again, just sort of think out loud for your students. How do you make the decisions you do? How are you focusing on the aim of the lesson, which in this case is voice? And good luck, and I'll see you on Wednesday.